Okay, so we got 6.3. Solve equations with rationals. Okay, rational numbers are fractions and decimals. So we're going to start out, I think, with the easier one, decimals. If you don't have a calculator, you definitely want to find one somewhere because it's not going to be easy today. So we're just going to jump right in. 16 equals 0.25 in. Okay, so it's just like our regular numbers. We just have to figure out what we want to get rid of. So the side that has the variable on it, this side. What's in my way? The variable being by itself, 0.25. How is 0.25 attached to n? There's no signs anywhere, so it's going to be through multiplication. So in order to undo multiplication, I divide. Okay, and I really need you to understand you have to put that line there, that fraction line, or put a little division or something. Because if you just write 0.25 underneath it, you're probably going to add on this side. Okay, so put a sign telling you what you're doing. Okay, I'm resetting everything. So on this side, I'm just going to take my calculator, maybe, and I'm going to do 16 divided by 0.25, and I get 64 equals, this turns into 1, so I'm left with just n. And that is my answer. All right, let's do another one. Negative 2.8p equals 4.2. So once again, how is this attached? Well, it's attached through multiplication. Even though there is a minus sign, it's not in between the two. So it's still attached through multiplication. So I'm going to undo it through division. Now, especially on this one, you have to have that line. Because of that negative sign there, if you don't, I guarantee you, you'll take 4.2 minus 2.8. And that's not what we're doing. We're dividing. Okay, that turns into 1, leaving me with just p equals, and then what is 4.2 divided by negative 2.8? Negative 1.5. Okay, and I got my answers. So that is decimals. Pretty much the same thing, just make sure you're paying attention and slowing down as you type things in the calculator. Next, we have fractions. We need to talk about a multiplicative inverse first. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, multiplicative inverse. Two fractions that multiply to be 1. Okay, so let's say we have 5/3. My multiplicative inverse would be 3/5 because 5/3 times 3/5, everything cancels out and I get 1, which we know in solving equations, it's super important for everything to cancel out. All right, so let's see if you guys can find the multiplicative inverse for 2. Sorry, negative 2. Write that word down. Multiplicative inverse would be, if it's negative, your multiplicative inverse needs to be negative so it can turn out to be a positive. And if you didn't notice, we just flip-flopped our fractions here, so flip-flop this fraction. What's on the bottom there that's invisible? A 1 and then 2. And just to check it, negative 2 times negative 1/2. Put your 1 there, cancel, 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 and you get 1. Okay, knowing these are super important for what we're getting ready to do next. So, example 3, we got 3/4 x equals 12 over 20. Which is stupid because that's not simplified. But anyway, I'm going to draw my line. In order to get rid of this 3/4 x, I'm going to multiply it by its multiplicative inverse. So what's my multiplicative inverse of 3/4? 4/3. Now remember, what you do on this side, you have to automatically do on this side. So I'm not multiplying this side by 3/4. I'm multiplying this side by 4/3. Okay, this side cancels out, leaving me with just x. Now this side, you can do that by hand. I'm fine with that because it's actually pretty easy. You can simplify it all. But I want to show you how to do this in a calculator, okay? So every calculator, well, not everyone, but if it's a scientific one, it should have an ABC button like this. Okay, so if you have one like this is where it is. Let me get my other one out here. If you have one like this, that's where the ABC button is. If you have a super duper fancy one, you will have markings like that on your calculator, and that's your fraction button. You can't figure it out, send me a picture of your calculator and I will help you out, or just Google it. You can figure it out that way. Okay, so I'm going to do 12, and then you hit ABC 20, and that is 12/20ths, times 4 ABC 3, 4/3. And I get 4/5 as my answer. Okay, I'm going to do it on this one just so you can see what it looks like from another calculator. 12 over 20, I just did the ABC button, times 4 ABC 3, and I get 4/5. Okay. Let's do one more, and then I'll let you loose. Negative 7 over 9d equals 5. Okay, I got to get rid of this to get d by itself. So I'm going to multiply it by a negative, flip-flop that, so 9 over 7. Directly bring it over here, negative 9 over 7. Okay, everything goes away on this side, leaving me with d. And then I'll do this one first. 5 times 9, you always have to enter the 9 first. And then the negative sign on this one's way down here. Negative ABC 7 equals, that is negative 6 3/7. That's how you read that. Okay, on this one, you can just type it all in. 5 times negative 9. The negative on this one, you have to use that. Don't use your minus button. ABC 7, negative 6 3/7. Okay. Biggest mistake on these is people multiply by 3/4 because they just took that number and multiplied it, and negative 7 over 9. So don't forget to flip-flop it and then move it over to the other side. All right, same type of thing for homework. You'll just have to send me a picture of your work because I got to see it, but I'll post it on GoFormative.